What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody, how are you? I hope that you're having a good day. Hope you had an amazing day. I hope that you made today one of the greatest days of your life and that you were not only a solution and you were great on purpose, but you made yourself a solution to somebody's problem. You helped somebody, you helped yourself. You did what was requisite and necessary for your own mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health. Okay. I hope y'all had a good one. What's up, everybody that is watching? This is Dr. Chris. I am so good. I am so good. I am so glad to see all of you. I really, 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 really am. Thank y'all for tuning in. Do me a favor. Uh, Share this, hit that button that rhymes with care, starts with an S, and let everybody know that it's about to get real. When you share this, I just want you to type in, it's about to get real. It's about to get real. Do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear me well. Please let me know that you can hear me well. I am going to, in many cases, um, just really go in and not only speak to my heart, speak from my heart, but also to um, not only just speak from my heart, but then also give, hey, Vanessa, how are you? Um, but I'm also going to give my opinion. I do want to, um, um, okay. Hey, baby girl, how are you? Love you so, 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 so much. Hey, Kiana, how are you? Kiona, how do I say your name? I got corrected before, but now I can't remember how to say it. But hey, how are you? Y'all can hear me? Okay, good. Wonderful. I do want to preface this and say this is my, hey, Mama Reba, this is my, these things are my opinion. For the most part, these things are my truth. I am also going to give you an opportunity. Hey, Miranda. I am going to give you all an opportunity to come on live with me. And this is the link right there. It is bit.ly/truth on Tuesday. Truth on Tuesday, all lower caps. And you can type that in your browser or type it in your search engine on your phone. bit.ly/truth on Tuesday. You could come on and give your 2 cents if you agree with what I'm saying, or if you don't agree with what I'm saying. You could definitely go on here, come on and give your 2 cents, your 5 cents, your $1 million contribution, if you will. And I will be happy to oblige you, give you the space for that. It is a safe space. We don't have to agree or anything like that. However, we gonna deal with some truths today. Okay. Are y'all ready? It's gonna get real, real. Some of you might get triggered. Some of you might get a little perturbed. Get a little perturbed, just a little bit perturbed at what I say, and that is okay. It is my hope, and it is my prayer that I don't do it to make you upset. Hey, Lamaya, how are you? um, I'm not trying to make you upset, but what I am trying to do is provoke you to think and to provoke you to perhaps, peradventure, make a change somewhere, somehow. Okay. All right. Did y'all share? Did y'all let everybody know that we're live? Once again, if you want to come on live with me as I am talking, feel free. And I will give you the space to pontificate or give your opinion on what has been going on. All right. Y'all know I love you. Y'all know I care about you. Yeah, come on in here. Y'all know I love you. Y'all know I care about you. And we're going to have some fun but good dialogue tonight. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Okay. So here we go. There's some things that have just been happening. And y'all know I typically talk about True Talk Tuesdays. I normally would do True Talk Tuesday with Dr. Chris, and it is Tuesday. And so we're going to do Truth on the Tuesday. But I want y'all to make sure y'all tune into my radio show every morning on iHeartRadio called every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time called True Talk with Dr. Chris. iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Streamio and other outlets, WDAO radio, all of that. I have a radio show every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's True Talk with Dr. Chris. I am not going to be talking about it tomorrow, talking about this tomorrow, but I am talking about it here on my YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook platforms. Okay. So, cool beans. Do me a favor, hit that share button one more time. Let everybody know that we are live and it's about to get real. All right. And make sure you give me those flurries, those thumbs up, and everything like that. Now, it's just a lot that's been happening. Okay. It's a lot that has been happening. And I've been getting message after message, call after call. It's been a lot going on. So I'm just gonna lump them all into one live, and I'm gonna try to hit them all as the best way I possibly can. Hey India. And we're gonna go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna do the one that's probably the most viral right now. I'm gonna do that one first. So we're gonna talk about it. At the Oscars, if you watched the Oscars, or by now probably, hey Ladybug, though I know many of y'all probably watched the Oscars, or you have been watching the replay. Okay, if you didn't know, what happened was, hey daughter, hey, love you, Janelle. What happened was Will Smith slaps Chris Rock across the face. And he slaps him across the face because he makes a joke about his wife, Jada, and talking about, it was a whole thing of, hey, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all of that. And so, you see Will Smith, he kind of laughs. Jada does the Black women's national signal or sign of not being happy. She rolls her eyes in the way that only a Black queen can, right? So she rolls her eyes, and then Will Smith, seeing that his wife is actually not okay with this, he walks up to Chris and he slaps him. Slap the taste out of his mouth, slap the joke right out the man's mouth. So, a lot of people called me. It was like, AC, Dr. Chris, bro, what do you think about that? Hey, Tamika, how are you? A lot of people was like, yo, what do you think about it? What is going on? What should happen? I even hopped on Clubhouse with one of my friends just to lend my 2 cents. And it is this. Okay. It is this. This is my truth. Y'all don't get mad at me. I love y'all for real. Okay. First off, I do want to say family to me means everything. Whether I'm married, whether I have kids, whether I'm just a son, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, a friend, a brother. Family means everything to me. Okay? Period, point blank. I am very, very, very serious about family. I'm very serious about the people that I love. Extremely serious about the people I love. Even if I don't like you, I'm just as serious about you if I love you, because I can love you and not like you. There's plenty of people I absolutely adore but can't stand. Huh? It's the truth, right? So in this wise, or in this case, what is happening is, hey, Tanya. Hey, daughter. I'm telling y'all, family means everything to me. Okay. And if anybody knows me, and once again, this is my truth. So don't get mad at me. Don't be like, oh, he less of an apostle, and oh, he ain't doing. No, don't do that. I'm just being real in this moment. Okay. I'm being real in this moment. Here it is. If you want to see me go from 0 to ziggity in 0. nanosecond, dark 30, negative T minus, listen. Listen. Alpha male to the supernatural power. However, I'm trying to tell you, if you want to see me go from 0 to ziggity, mess with any of mine. You can come at me all day long. Mess with me all day long. You can talk about me, you can slander me, you can lie on me, you can savalize my name, you can scandalize me. You know how that lady was mispronouncing all those words. You can do all of those things, but do not. I love you still, and I love Jesus with my whole heart. Do not come at any one of my people. It won't end well for you. Okay? And I'm a whole apostle and a whole prophet. Right? And in this case, Will chose violence. Now, am I a condoner of violence? No. Am I saying just pop somebody across the face if they say something crazy at you? No. However, and I've seen a lot of people saying, well, he should have used his words. He should have used his words. Well, a lot of times we don't understand that there is history to things. So before I even spoke on this, I needed to make sure that I did research and I dug into what was going on. And I dug and I dug and I dug and I read reportings and what others were saying and everything like that. Here's the thing. For many years, Chris Rock, though a comedian, albeit a comedian, right? Which I'm going to deal with in a minute. Albeit he is a comedian, for years he had been taking digs at another man's wife. He had been making fun of another man's wife. Well, you might say, well, AC, they put their life in public. They live very publicly and everything like that. And so here's the thing. It's one thing for me to live, and this is why I don't put my life in public like this with y'all knuckleheads, because when I did do that, y'all crucified me and y'all threw stones and y'all acted like I wasn't saved and everything like that. So that's why I don't let many people into my life like that, because people can't handle the reality or the transparency of your life. Okay. Anyway, so that's another story. But here's the thing. Yes, they live transparently in front of other people. Yeah, they lived in front of transparently in front of people. But just because I am putting my life out there, I'm putting my life out there to hopefully teach you something. Okay? I did. I'm trying to put my life out there to teach you something, to share with you a principle, or to allow you to see my vulnerability, to raise awareness to something, to push something, or to impress upon you something that perhaps you can learn from. I do not live transparently for you to take it and to then make fun of, make jest of, or to demean it or dilute it based upon simply because you are in a particular vocation. It is my opinion, get mad at me if you want to, it's okay. It is my opinion that it actually speaks to the heart of the person, albeit a comedian. Now, I know that comedians look at dark things, sad things, grim things, and flip them and make them funny. They have a very, very, very weird way of looking at things, and that's okay. That's what makes them money. That's what gets them going, and I get it, and I understand it. However, the thing about this is, here's the thing. You ready? You ready? It also would speak to the heart of the person that is making the joke. And once again, I told you that yes, he had been going years and years, and yet try it with my people if you want to. Years and years and years of taking digs at the woman. And at some point, a man, a lion, an alpha male is going to break. Now, are there some things that I believe built up in Will that caused him to have a breaking point and all of this stuff? Yes, I believe he had a breakdown in that moment, psychologically speaking, as a psychologist. But what I am saying, I also don't blame the man. I'm not like, oh, I can't believe. Listen, you only got, but Jesus said, turn the other cheek. I only got two. Only got two. So you hit one, I'm going to turn the other one. If you dare to hit that one, I only got two. And then I'm going to lay you down on both of your cheeks. And I don't mean your face. You're going to be on the ground. Okay? So what I'm saying is, y'all just pray for me. Maybe I ain't delivered yet. Okay? Here's the thing. But is it not true that many will take your vulnerability for granted and against you, especially when they have detailed information? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the thing. He had been taking dig year after year after year, and at some point, you're going to say, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And that's after I done slapped the taste out of yours. I done slapped my wife's name out your mouth, and then I'm going to say, now, don't say her name ever again. Period. Now, here's the thing, and I'm just dealing with this. Am I condoning violence? Absolutely not. Am I saying that it's okay to just walk up to people because they say that they don't like your shirt and you just slap them in the face? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I condone violence. So don't think that I'm saying that it's okay to just slap somebody across their face. However, I'm telling you, as a man, because if you look at the history of this thing, he repeatedly over years have asked him, yo, lay off. Yo, stop. Yo, please don't. Hey, stop it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do it. Can you please not? Can you please not? And then at one point, it's just going to be, all right, see, now you didn't want, I used my words. I did what they told me when I was growing up as a little kid. Use your words. Use your words. So I used my words, and my words didn't work. So now I got to make you feel the words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay? Okay. Now I get it. They live their life, and I understand it. I understand you being a comedian and you look at things and you talk about world events and you make fun of things and you make jokes out of things. But I do believe that there are some things that are just simply off limits. There are some things that are just simply off limits. And then some people will say, oh, well, maybe he didn't know that she had alopecia. No, wait a minute. Because you cannot at one point say, well, they live their life out in public and I see everything going on with their life and I talk about them. And then you say, oh, well, I didn't know she had, because it's on the same platform that she's talked about her having the alopecia. And so you're going to make light of, and you're going to literally take a jab at someone's condition. Let's pull back. Let's put it in your lap. How women, it's a lot of y'all on here, and I would love for one of you to come on real quick just to talk about how you would feel, okay? How you would, if you're willing to. If you're willing to, I want to interview. I want to just ask a woman a couple questions, because I got a couple questions. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but I want to pause right up and through here. I want somebody to come on here, bit.ly/truth on a Tuesday. I'm not going to berate you. I'm not going to trap you. I literally just have a legit question I want to ask you to see what you would say. And it's not to prove a point. It's literally to ask. Absolutely. He even did a show called Good Hair. So you should know better. You already know how we as African Americans, especially African American queens, right, feel about their hair. You already know that. They'll spend $5,000 on some hair. It's the thing. Okay, so I want somebody, if you're willing, come on. I just want to ask a question. I just want to ask you a question, and then you could drop right back off. Hey, Shiloh. Hey, daughter. I want y'all to. I just want to ask a question. Reba, Shiloh, Apostle Michelle, Lasagna. Hey, Lasagna. Love you, girl. Eva, Charmaine, Janelle, anybody, Lamaya, somebody. It's right there. Just tap on that. You can put it in the link. And I mean, it's just a simple question. I'm not even going to be funny about it. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Jackie. I'm not even going to be funny about it. Okay? I ain't going to be funny about it. So, anywho, here it is. You have a male making a decision. Got a male making a decision. And she can't come on right now. I know y'all saying y'all want Angelica to come on. She can't come on right. And so you got him after having a mess. Y'all want to come on here? All right. So then I'm just going. All right. I tried to give y'all an opportunity. You've got a male now making a decision who has sat back and watched his wife be berated year after year. Their family been made a joke of when they had the intent to help people. And I'm gonna tell y'all from a male's perspective, and I'm not saying that this had anything to do with why he slapped he slapped they slapped the taste out his mouth. But anytime when you have somebody of the notoriety, the clout, and the stage of a Will Smith, who now has to sit across the table and discuss with his wife that she now got caught up with with these people's I'm not these people, her son's friend, and then wouldn't say I cheated, wouldn't say I had an affair, said I had an entanglement. There was a entanglement. And so um we got problems and sympathations. We got problems, sympathations here. So my question now to you is this. I'm gonna bring up women one by one, and I want, and that because y'all filing it. Oh Lord, y'all flooding the backstage now. Okay, so let me ask y'all these questions. I'm gonna go in the order. I'm gonna bring on the apostles. The Bible says apostles first. So here go Dr.
Hey.
I have a question really quickly. This is my question unto you as a woman. Right? This is my question to you as a woman. What would you want my brother, your husband, to do? Yes. Sitting right there next to you, and you are on a national platform, international, actually. And now my brother is sitting there, and I know because you buy my hair oil. For those of y'all who didn't know, I make hair oil. I know what you're dealing with, right? And somebody makes fun of it. Key. After years of saying you not a movie actress, you all of this, and then makes a joke to say looking for G.I. Jane 2. After you already said that I'm not a movie actress, I'll never get an Oscar because I don't do movies. I'm only good enough for shows. And then I take a dig at your issue. What in that setting, what do you want your husband to do? Do you want him to sit there and laugh and then wait on a break to try to find him backstage?
Nah.
Do you want him to what would you want your husband to do?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I hope they can hear you.
So let me put this out there for the naysayers and the ones who are wondering. I do have slight alopecia. It's not in my head. It's actually on my face with my eyebrows. People have made fun of me, and it hurts because when you don't know, and even if you do know, you should keep your mouth shut.
Come on.
Secondly, I would want my husband to defend me. His actions, I cannot speak. I have to make that very clear because those are his actions.
Come on.
If he gets up and just wow you out, then hey, that's between you and him and the fist. Needless to say, I do want my husband to defend me. I don't think that he would just sit back and blow breath out of his nose and out of his ears and wait for the opportune time behind the stage. Because I am a firm believer of this, and some of you may disagree with me. I don't care. If you act a numb nut in public, I'm going to address you in public.
Ain't that what they said to us when we was growing up? Yep. Wherever you act up is where you gonna get it.
Right. Am I an advocate of violence? No, I am not. And as a person who also counsels and mentors people, I will say this: you never know what a person's temperament is. You don't know what level they have reached. And I do believe this because I have been guilty of it, of myself in the past. You can only take but so much. And when a person pushes your button, you are the recipient of the button that has been executed.
So I just want to make sure, because it's a whole lot of. I watched the show where she was like, "I'm a Christian woman, and I believe in Jesus,
I do too.
and Jesus, and I just don't condone violence and everything." And I'm like, wait a minute, you talk about the same, which is why I'm going to talk about the black Jesus. You still talk about the same Jesus that went into the temple and just started throwing over tables and just whipping folk and doing all, and then went off on everybody and said, my house shall be a house of prayer, but you made it a den of thieves and robbers and all of this stuff. You talk about the same Jesus, the same one that Revelation says got a sword coming out his mouth, and he's a man of war and leads the armies. And you talk about that same Jesus.
And the same God in the book of Genesis, where he got sick and tired of the evil people acting a numbnut, and he told Noah to go away because I'm going to destroy the earth. Yeah, that same person.
I just want to say this numbnut is taking me out. If you say numbnut one more time, I'm gonna be on the floor.
Not you being the numbnut, not you.
No. I'm just saying numbnuts is just hilarious to me.
You say knuckleheads, I say numbnuts.
And this is the thing. Like, Jesus wouldn't condone this. I mean, it does say, kingdom suffers violence, but the violent take it by force. It does, he said that. We still talk about the same God that will lit. He don't just go pink. No, he'll drown the whole world.
Yeah.
He'll
leave absolutely nothing
and swallow a whole people,
and then say, now what?
And be like, now what? Who on my side now?
Right.
Huh?
That.
What was it?
That one.
What'd you say? Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, that one.
Right. So I'm like, come on now. So, anyways, thank you. I'm gonna move on to the next one.
All right.
She said she don't want my brother to be just sitting there. Oh, let me ask you this question. This is the second question. What would you think about your husband if he just sat there and laughed it off and just told you, "Oh, baby, he just joking"?
Me and him gonna have a conversation or two.
I just wanted,
yeah,
to know. I just wanted to know.
We will have a conversation.
Cool beans. All right, there we go. No problem. Okay, let me do this. Who next? Lord, it switched around. Okay, I'm gonna bring you on. Here we go. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Saints, aints, and friends. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Hi.
Hello.
All right. So, what would you want your husband to do if he just sitting there going slapping? And you did one of these. That's like a double.
Right.
Double, triple, quadruple slap.
Definitely defend. Probably not on that platform because that's all the white folks. So they all in the uproar. But
okay. Definitely. Okay.
Defend.
So you want but you want him to take him backstage, or handle it in a different scene or a different place.
Probably different place.
Okay. So you would not have.
I wouldn't want to use. Yeah.
You would not have wanted him to do it right there at the Oscars, but in a different spot, and then we're gonna walk this dog.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna take it outside.
Okay.
We're gonna go. So I'll meet you in the parking lot.
Come outside. Now, if your husband. Now, here's my second question, because there's like 5 of these people that's in here, and I got about 4 other topics. You ready? If your husband was to sit there and was like, "Oh, hey, he just joking," or whatever, and then do nothing, what would you think?
Whole attitude.
Whole attitude, right? Okay. So you will want him to slap him, not at the Oscars, just outside.
Mm-hmm.
Slap him outside and don't sit there and do nothing. Okay, so that's 2 for 2. We 2 for 2. We on the slap the taste out their mouth train. Okay, let's see if the next person says thank you. Bye-bye. All right, cool beans. Let me see who next. Nelly. Let me see. You was looking away, so I wanted to see. You ready or you dealing with? You good? Yes, you. You got it. Good. All right. Do you want your husband?
Do I want same question? Yeah, on site, in public, dealt with in public.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Deal with it in public. Would you have wanted him? Would you have wanted him to just sit there when that happened? You want him to handle it later? You want him to handle it right then and right there?
I really don't have say of what my husband does. So if he feels disrespected,
your husband crazy. He will get up there and chokehold that dude.
Listen.
I know that. That's my dude right there. I love him. He'll get up there and be like, apologize.
Exactly. And bring him to me.
And right. Snatched him up and brought him to you. Put him on his knees and be like, now apologize.
Right. Mouth wide open. But thank you. So I don't have control, but I would want it to be handled and dealt with right then and there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Handle it right then and there. How would you have felt if your husband would have just sat there and did nothing?
I think he would have caught a side eye. I think he would. He would definitely catch a side eye. Like, yo, if not, we gonna go to the back. Nope. Okay, we leaving. Okay, we leaving. We leaving.
Come on.
I would have felt disrespected by him twice over, by him and by dude if he decided not to do anything right there. I would have.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you like we would if he would not have handled it, you would have been handling him.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
We're gonna ask for forgiveness later, you know.
Okay. Okay. I'm just taking a pause.
Anyway.
No, you can't do that.
I'm sorry.
What did he say?
He said, I'm just gonna send him to Jesus anyway.
Right.
So
right. He gonna meet Jesus the night.
Y'all can talk about it.
Touch not mine. Touch not mine.
Right. Right. Cool beans. Appreciate you. Love you.
Love you.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
All right. Last but not okay. My daughter.
What's up? Hey, Pops. What's going on?
Okay. So I'm gonna read Kalicia's message in a second. Because it's long, but I'm gonna read it in a minute because I feel like she had something good to say. Hey, Kalisha, how are you? All right. We at the Oscars. You at the Oscars with your husband and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And your comic, he take a dig at you. Another dig after every year. Even talking about you even when you ain't even there.
Right.
Take a dig at you. And you sitting there, boom. What do you want your man to do?
Hey, I'm gonna say slap happy. I want him to react, whether you use your mouth or we go physical. I'm gonna look at you like, oh, you gonna let him say that? Like, hey, you already, but especially knowing that it's a history behind it, and you do get to a point where, hey, enough is enough. I'm sick of this, and there's a hurt feeling there. If you and your husband are one, he's going to feel it and know that hurts you. And like any alpha male and any true husband does not want to see their family hurting at all. So they should get up and react in some type of way. Did I like the fact that he did it at the Oscars? No. But what would you want? It's a twofold thing. If he didn't say anything, if he didn't do anything, then they would have looked at him as a beta or less.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, you just let him stat. So this gonna go on every year. Are you a punk? You know, that's the way I felt like. He got to a point where he was just tired. Is there mental things that were going there? Yeah, you know, yeah. But my husband, you better yes. You better say some. Don't just sit there.
And as a woman, how would that make you feel if your husband didn't eat? You see, Mama Reba, that was on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up, Mama Reba. So the second question, go ahead and ask the second question.
Okay, second question is.
Yes, I have my answer.
Second question is, what would you? Why can't you get slapped at the Oscar? Whatever, LaShawn. She's hilarious. How would that make you feel as a husband? I'm sorry, as a wife. How would that make you feel about your husband? Or no, just not how would you feel about him? How would that make you feel if your husband just sat there and was like, and didn't do nothing?
First of all, I look side at him and say, really, dude? In the back of my mind, I cut my eyes because he should be able to read my eyes. Second of all, that would have been a hurtful feeling, knowing we've talked about this throughout the years. Mm-hmm. That this bothers me and what he does. And now he gets up here and say it again, and all you're going to do is laugh about it. So you think I'm funny too? Okay, boo-boo, I'm going to talk to you in the car, but hang on just a second. Let me show you how it's supposed to be done. And I'm going to go up there and walk up there to myself and smack. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take the Oscars for you. They don't have to invite, because apparently I don't act no more. You know, I'm not even up there. I don't act, but I'm acting on this one.
Right. Okay, cool. There we have it. There we have it. Thank you, daughter.
Love you, Pops.
Love you too, Gary. Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all just heard from 5 different women. That's it. And I was seeing on the feed where it's like, no, I want my husband to handle this. You see, this is what we are dealing with a lot of, and you need to get my book called The Alpha Male. Go to drchristophermontgomery.com and get The Alpha Male, because I do talk about this. This is something. I'm about to read Kalisha's message real quick, or her comment. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna read it in a minute, but let me say this. We are living in a generation where we've got this ambiguous cognitive processing going on. What I mean by that is, on one hand, yes, he's a comedian. Yes, he's going to say things that are offensive, provocative. I mean, look at Cat Williams. Look at Dave Chappelle. Look at so many others. Richard Pryor in his day. Even Eddie Murphy in his day. Look at oh man, I'm losing their names. But there were so many provocative comedians who would say things that would upset people. But even they knew there were certain lines that simply just did not get crossed. And if you have been addressed about something over and over and over again, why are you taking a dig? My issue became where when he made the comment or he made the joke, Will kind of tried to laugh at that, ha ha ha. He sees his eyes, he sees his wife's eyes roll, which is the Black woman signal, not okay with this. And he doubled down on the joke. And he says, oh, whatever, that was a good one. That was a good one. It's good to make fun of somebody else's condition that they have cried on national platforms, international platforms, worldwide platforms about. Cried about it. And you can't say that you didn't know, because if you were as close to them as you said that you were, you would have known that. So why take a dig at your sister? And this is part of what we get into, because we as African Americans, I know everybody on here ain't Black, but let me talk to my Black brothers and sisters. We need to start looking at how we're treating each other, because we do that stuff to each other all the time. We'll take digs at each other. We'll talk about each other, publicly humiliate people so that they can be lowered, so that it makes us look brighter and bigger and everything. And I'm not trying to say that that's what Chris Rock was trying to do, but that is what we do as a people. We don't treat each other well. We write songs calling each other N-words and calling our women B's. And then we do videos exploiting their bodies. And then those same women be like, oh, don't be touching me and don't be coming at me like that. Well, If you put it out there, if you shake it in front of me, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's this whole thing of I can do all of this, but don't cross. It's an issue. And so you need to we need to look at it from the context of we need to look at it from the context of, okay, did he know? Yes. Was he warned? Yes. And here's another part of the research. You know, when they do their rehearsal of the jokes, because they read their jokes, they give jokes, and that joke was given and it was not vetted, i.e., it was told, don't mention that. And he did it anyway. That's another point that you need to know. Do I agree that he should have slapped the taste out of his mouth right there at the Oscars? Because of the type of setting that it was, no. But I would have walked up there like Will did, and I would have let him finish his bit. I would have stood there, let him finish his bit when he brings out the presenters. And I'm like, hey, yo, let me come holler at you. And y'all would have heard, and on the side of the stage, I would have heard a whole bunch of ruffling and rustling on them mics. Okay. Now that's because that's what's the stage. Now do it out here on the streets. I ain't gonna say, let me come talk to you. I'm coming to you with my short self, and I'm gonna hit you low so you can come down to my level, and I'm gonna knock you slam out. You're gonna meet the king today. Okay. You cannot play, especially after all of the barragement and the pressure that he has been in over the years. He's literally been told, you're not good enough. You're not providing. No matter how hard you were providing, it wasn't good enough. I slept with my son's best friend because you're not good enough. All of this stuff. What do you think the man is supposed to do? Okay, anyways, let me read what she had said. Kalili said, Will has carried all of the scrutiny of what his family has been through for years without judgment. I'm speaking of what his kids have been through, things his wife has done, and all of the judgments that come along with being public eye 24/7, while trying to keep a smile on his face and do what he does to be successful. Will has always stated in interviews how he wants to be the best father and husband that he didn't have growing up. So he always has to put his best foot forward and carry his fam. I think it cut you off. I don't know if there's more, Kalili. So hey, Nigeria, I would not want my husband to do what Will did. Okay, there's another perspective. You just came on. You would not want your husband to do that. He did not know about the alopecia. See, I'm hearing multiple reportings, because on one part they were saying that he did, another part said that he didn't. And so that's where I'm like, okay, so let's go with that, where he did not know. Here's the thing: if he didn't know, and the response of the people, was like, boo, don't know, and then he doubles down like that was a good one. Something should go off in the mind of a comedian that says, no, that ain't cool, dog. That is not right. Back away from that. Don't double down on it. Okay. And so let me see. I'm trying to click through because y'all was commenting a whole lot. Once again, if y'all want to come on, you can go to bit.ly/truth on Tuesday. Yep. Angelica said, if I got to give a reaction, that's already a huge problem. Somebody said, oh, well, he deserved what he got. Najia said, Will was wrong, hands down. Once again, I don't think anybody on here is condoning violence in the way that it was given. However, I will handle my family in a way that, yeah. Oh, there was more, so it cut you off. It cut off your comment. I'm gonna say something after I read these couple of next. Hey, Ankia. I'm gonna go try to find your comment, Kalisha. It said I had no knowledge. Oh, Najia says she had no knowledge of the alopecia, and I thought the joke was funny. Low haircut, green dress, thus G.I. Jane. Rock said he did not know about the condition. And like I said, it's multiple reportings that said they didn't. If he's saying, "Oh, I know, I didn't know she had it," then okay. But at the same time, if you as a comedian, you got to be able to read the crowd. You got to be able to read the crowd. And if they're like, no, boo, why double down? And so that's what happened. But on this case, once again, am I condoning violence? No. Am I saying that he should have done it right then and there? No. What I am saying is, right? What I am saying is, yeah, crowd did laugh, but you would hear the boos as well, which was right there in front of him, which is why he said, "Oh, that was a good one. Come on." So that's how you know that the crowd was booing, or else he would have never said that. So Karen, Hudson, Campbell, hey everybody that's coming on, love y'all. And I'm loving the discussion. Will was wrong. He overreacted. Jada was not worth that slap or embarrassment. Oh, okay. So you saying Jada wasn't worth that slap or the embarrassment? Okay, cool. This is a good discussion. This is wonderful. I love it. All I'm saying is this. I do know from a male's perspective and from just a person with somewhat of a sizable platform, you know, from a male's perspective or from my perspective, I am going to defend. Now, whether I would have walked up there and just slapped the taste out of his mouth right then at the Oscars and all of that, no, I most likely would not have. I most likely would have walked up there after he did his bit and was like, "Let me come holler at you," and all of that. I don't resort to violence immediately. I hope y'all can understand what I'm about to say. When it comes to messing with or hurting people that I love, I become violent, but I don't resort to violence at the initial state. Now, what do I mean by violent? I am a wordsmith, so I know how to do things or say things that will make you feel this big. I am a talker and a communicator, so I will do that. I'll try to do that before I go. Now, it may be that alpha male in me might be there, so my voice might be raised, all of that stuff, but I'm not going to immediately just walk up and just pow. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm going to do, because if I am, like Will said, if I am called upon by God to love people, be a river to people, and to protect people, then there is a way to do it. Okay. She said Mr. Holler comes forth. So I will handle that. Now, if it becomes you bucking up and man, F your wife, she needs to da 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 da. Okay, now we got problems. Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. I'm gonna spend just a little bit more time on this, and then I'm going to the next. Oh, there she go. I was hoping you was gonna come on here. Okay. All right. I just, are you there? Okay,
Yes.
I just want to say, I got to sing your praises real quick. Y'all, listen. If anybody has followed me for the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years, y'all will know that this used to be mine. It hasn't been that long. Wait.
Has it
Hold
been
on.
that long?
Yeah, almost.
Wow.
It was 2013, I believe it
Yes,
was.
almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years. If y'all know that this used to be my assistant. Oh, she was the greatest ever.
Aw.
Oh my Lord. This is the Nigeria Bailey, the administrators of all administrators. Good googly moogly. And she left me. She resigned. My life has
Whatever.
never been the same since you left me. Okay. Anyways, she was absolutely amazing. She literally, I had no worries in life. She ran everything, which was great. And I love it. Thank you so much for everything that you have done.
Oh, you're just too kind.
Okay. Anyways, so go ahead.
So I wanted to give my like I came on late. I was just scrolling, and I heard you mention a lot of women said they appreciated what he did, and they would want their significant other to do the same. I am the opposite. I would not want my husband to jeopardize his career, his because everybody ain't Will Smith. Y'all going to jail. You're going to jail if you react like that in situations.
Yeah.
You will get handcuffed. It can mess up your livelihood, and so I rather a husband that's going to protect me first by making sure that he's not in a vulnerable position. I appreciate my husband, and my husband don't play with him, okay? But what I love about my husband is he will diffuse the situation before react. He'll think first before jeopardizing or putting himself in a vulnerable position that will initially be harmful to all of us. So reacting in that way was, I believe, more harmful to their family than helpful. And you have to be careful with stuff like that. I'll give an example. One time my son was outside walking the dog, and a dog ran up on him because somebody didn't have their dog on a leash. It was a pit bull, and I was so hot because we could hear it from inside the house. And my husband just put up the window. He saw that my dog and my son was okay. He said, "Come in the house." He said, "Come in the house." Me, I'm mad. Oh no, taking earrings off. How dare you? How dare they do all of that, run up on my son like that? And he did like this to me. He said, "Where you going?" I said, "They can't do that to us. They can't just have their dog around." And he said, "No." He said, "He's okay. Everybody's okay. Nobody is in harm. No harm was done to anybody." He said, "Now, if you go outside and you cuss these people, and they gonna call you out your name or something, now I'm gonna have to go out there and do what I got to do. And then I'm going to jail." He said, "So you be still." So I was like, you know what, you're right. Like after I calmed down. And so in situations where we have been in, where I was like kind of like all upset and emotional, he was the man and removed his emotions and was able to give logic and reason. And that's what husbands ought to do. When we are in a situation that requires physical, yes, handle it. If Jada was in a place where somebody was harming her physically, yes, I would condone you physically attacking. But in this instance, it wasn't called for. And we don't know what the truth is about Rock's knowledge of the alopecia or not. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I chose to believe that he didn't if he said he did not. But I think that made the world of difference, because if I don't know your condition, it's free game. I know Jada to always rock a shortcut. I had no knowledge of the alopecia. I had no knowledge of that. And my question was, if we are upset about Chris Rock's knowledge or his joke about the alopecia, are we upset with Regina Hall's comment, one, about LeBron James's hairline, and two, are we upset about Regina Hall's comments about their marriage as well? Because her joke was also harmful as well. And, you know, are we only sensitive about women's hair loss, or do we care about LeBron also?
Right. Okay. So to your point, I do agree, because I do try to diffuse before I infuse.
Come on, that's a word.
Okay. So I do try that. If it doesn't work and it's only, and now we about to be in fisticuffs, we got some issues now. So like you said, I don't condone that. And so many people are saying this. I do agree with what so many people are saying, and I was going to bring this up because especially with what you were going to say was going to be a part of it, where we can't pick and choose, right? We're talking about his joke because Will got up and slapped him.
Yeah.
Right. But there were so many things, which is why I said before, we got to watch how we treat each other.
Very true.
Because we're looking at now, we can't say that about Chris Rock because Regina King have said some things.
Regina Hall.
And so many other comedians or comedians have said some things that were harmful. And we have to, if we're going to be a sensitive culture, right?
Yeah.
Then we're just going to have to redress some things. And I'm with you to where it was like, okay, so then do we have a problem with her talking about LeBron stuff? Do we have a problem with her talking about the family? Do we have, all of these things? So we can't necessarily cherry pick. We're only talking about it because he slapped her, slapped him.
Definitely.
And so what I wish would have happened, this is what I wish would have happened, would have that he would have gone up there and said, hey, not cool, bro. My wife has X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And he would have been like, oh man, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And then they could have hashed it out right there. If he was going to, in the same place, defend her. Would I have just walked up at the Oscars and, you know what I'm saying?
I was in complete shock as to what had happened.
Yeah.
As I know, Chris Rock probably was totally in shock. I had no, but it goes to show that he was under an extreme amount. There's something going on, because to me it was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back. And so I had compassion for him. Like I didn't just, people like, I'm not canceling Will. I understand. I totally understood. You could see that there is something there. He is still dealing with some things. There's a lot going on there, and we should have compassion about that. But we do need to let him know that you was wrong, bro. We need to get this together.
Right. And so it is that. And so for it to, I know I'm trying to, it's like everybody is like, comment. Jesus. And the thing is, I was saddened because this was, I believe, the first time, I didn't research this, but I've never known the Oscars to be produced by a Black company.
I think this was the first.
Okay, so this was the first time that I'm gonna put up Delshauna's later, because all the long posts I'm putting up later, because y'all putting up dissertations and such. And so this was the first time that was happening. Will he knows he won. He said, I mean, you won. because there is a whole, I don't know if anybody knows this, and in my whole research, because I really never watched the Oscars, to be honest. So I had to do a little bit of, I've never watched, award shows and stuff like, I haven't, in my recent years, I haven't.
Mhm.
So my thing is this. I think that with it all being, with the Oscars, black, ran. And if y'all didn't know anything about the Oscars, you actually have to almost kind of campaign to win the award. It's not necessarily that you do a good job on the movie and hope the Academy picks you. It's actually your peers that kind of vote.
Definitely. And it was sad because that award was, Questlove won, and it took away from his moment of winning for Summer of Soul, which was such a great, Black film of arts and culture. And then, because I'm like, people forgot what the category was.
Right.
And even it stole away from Will's, glory and having this moment, because I thought King Richard was such a great film. I thought he did such an amazing job. And that was the reason why I was watching the Oscars, so I can watch him win. Because like you, I don't normally watch. I've watched years, in past, but recently I haven't watched. But I was watching for that reason, and so I could catch We Don't Talk About Bruno. Because if you have little kids, and
right, it's a whole thing. So the thing is, right, it was so much Black excellence there and so much trend setting that was taking place, and so much pioneering that was happening, and much credit to the executive producer, who was Black, to do all of these things. And I feel like it was the baby girl said they ruined Bruno.
I know they ruined Bruno. It was so good. It was so good.
So it's like all you could think about was that. What I do want to point out is a couple things. And I've just left you on here, Najee, because
I know. I'm like, what?
I miss you. That's fine. So you're gonna assist me tonight. No, I'm playing. So I want us to really take away some things really quickly. One, we need to pay attention to Black men when they cry every time they speak. I know that most men won't cry. And when I say cry, you may not visibly see the tears, but it's in the quiver of the lip. It's in you can see something is wrong and we're constantly saying nothing. It's in you got to pay attention to those, because men, especially Black men, is almost in our DNA, have been ingrained to to bear it and not even grin, to bear it and just be strong and just hold it because you're supposed to be strong. Stop crying. You a man. Stop, women will raise their children saying, a young male saying, men don't cry. Stop crying. Oh, you ain't hurt. That didn't hurt. All of that stuff. And it's like, huh? And so we have to watch when men are doing that, because if not, the male will eventually hit a tipping point, and he may not become violent toward you. He may not become violent to somebody else like Will did with Chris, but he might become violent to himself. He might become self-destructive, and we have to watch. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, one, so that everybody can be aware with that, because there was clearly something else going on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then also, I am very, very happy. What made me kind of be able be able to breathe a little bit was when I saw two other strong Black men who are leading in the industry, Denzel Washington and Tyler, kind of pull him to the side and be like, bro,
Yeah.
deal with him and everything without, I don't believe, judging him.
Yeah.
And so we have got to be careful to say, hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Do I believe it was a mistake for him to just walk up there and slap the taste out of his mouth? Yeah. But I don't think that Will is any less talented, any less worthy,
Absolutely.
any less, and he deserves what he got. And not only that, but what a lot of people may not understand is that especially if you go to acting school, there is a such thing called being a muse. You probably have heard that. Being a muse. That comes from a Greek history of when you are a muse of something, that is a muse, that means that you are a vessel of, or you allow whatever it is you're trying to portray to possess you. So it is like you got to understand that with him trying to be King Richard, he had to be around him and everything so that he could absorb kind of Richard into him. And he even made reference to, I'm not giving an excuse, but he even made reference. He said, listen, Richard was a fierce defender of his family. And he was saying, I'm being called upon to do all of this. And I think that it was some semblance there, or some remnants there of what he picked up just to do that part.
Yeah.
And there were so many actors. There's so many. I've seen the interview with Denzel Washington and Whoopi Goldberg and so many others, to where they would literally say, it took me months to get this character off of me, or get this character out of me. Because when you really get into that thing, you become that thing. And so I think that with all of this happening, plus all of the pressure of everything, we just found, okay. And now I hope that people close to him goes, okay, we need to talk about this. Let's heal from this. Let's work this out. I don't believe that they'll be at odds with each other for forever. They'll just have to live through the next 5 years of memes and gifts
Basically.
and all of these things.
You know the internet is killing them right now, but
Internet is not loyal.
Right, but it is a true. The one thing I wanted to come on and say here was, that us as women, we should not want our men to fly off handles in the name of defending us. We should want them to always diffuse situations and protect us in that way, and not get so caught up in, oh, I'm so glad that, because if my husband, my thing is, I'm his helpmate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, it's okay, baby, like, right here, unless he has to. I think about times where, I don't know if you guys know this scene in what's that? Oh, I forget the Crash. And the black couple was and they got pulled over by the police, and she was going off on the policeman, not allowing her husband to deal with the situation, and she here with it, and instead of letting her husband deal with it, they got into a kind of crazy situation. The man was abusive to his wife right in front of him. See, to me, like something like that, yeah, you need to kill somebody over. I'm sorry, am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
You on my platform, is that right?
Okay. But you can get killed behind something like that. Like my husband might put you under the earth if you do something like that to me. But my whole thing is that I want my husband to always be safe. So I would never want him to be unless he has to. So let's not glorify that, and be like, oh yeah, I want, if my husband don't do that for me, we not. No, you want the best for your husband, and you want him. So I it would have been nice if Jada would have stopped him. She probably was too far away if she even had the opportunity to. But I would have been like, no, babe, it's okay. Like, don't I'm good. I'm good. We gonna deal with this later, and not in front of 10 million people. But
yeah,
that's my little sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate you, sis.
All righty. Good
I
to talk
love
to
you.
you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Cool. So I think that everybody really. You said she told him to do it. You think she told him to do it, Janelle? You know, I really do believe that we got to be smart about it. And like I said, I would not have done it right there. I would have pulled him out to the side, tried to talk to him about it, and everything like that. If there is violence happening, and that was that. If there's violence happening and you coming at mine, then I'm going to meet violence with violence. That's just how that is. Okay, so we got everybody's thing. It's at the end of the day, I'm not judging Will, and this is from a psychologist's point of view. I understand certain behavior when you have gone through or are going through certain things. Okay. Am I condoning it? Absolutely not. But am I shocked? Yes, that they would do it on the Oscars, that he would do that right there. Yes, I am shocked about it. But the psychologist in me is like, this is what happens. The look on her face told him to do it. It could have. So that's that, right? I think every woman on this live wants their man to defend them. Some of them said, yeah, slap them. Some of them said, no, go talk to them and diffuse it or whatever, or have that happen. Okay. And then, you're in the moment. And I really want us to take away from not even really judge. It's okay to say, yeah, that wasn't the best thing for you to do. You didn't make the right choice, without judging and condemning him. Because he's no less of a human. He is no less of a man. He is no less of, he's no less worthy of the award that he was given. And all of that. Okay. I hope they don't take the award away because of it either. Because he certainly did deserve it. All right. And my sadness was, on a night of such Black excellence, we got this. And so let's do better, folk. Let's do better. Okay. All right. Can I move on to the next one? Can I move on to the next topic that I need to hit? If y'all want me to move on to the next topic, just say move on. Move on. Move on. I want y'all to type in move on, because really I ain't gonna keep talking about it. Y'all could watch other people's lives about Will and Chris, and y'all gonna see the clip. Everybody gonna be talking about it for a while. I just wanted people to come on, give their 2 cents, 5 cents, $1 million conversation, and we going on. All right, cool beans, wonderful. Look, y'all like move on, move on, keep on moving. Thank you, Jesus. All right, there we go. Okay, next topic that I need to, hey, Joe. Next topic that I need to deal with on the night. Now, I am going to, y'all gonna have to pray my strength on this one. There has been, it's not even there has been. There is a pastor, a bishop who is in hold on one second. Bishop Dwight Reed. Bishop Dwight Reed who is a bishop of an apostolic church. And I don't mean apostolic in function, I mean apostolic in denomination. There's a bishop who is 63 years old, 60 years and 3, who has recently married an 18-year-old girl who just turned 18, mind you. His name is Bishop Dwight Reed, and the young lady's name is Jordan Goodlet, or was. This girl, and I'm talking slowly because I got a real, hey Felicia, I got a real issue with this. And I'm praying that the Lord will give me the grace to get through it. Once again, if you want to come, this is Truth on a Tuesday. If you want to get, I am going to deal with that next week. I know of a few people who were in Hillsong and a part of it and went to the school and, everywhere, Australia, and did Hillsong. And I know of a few folk, pastors and all, who I'm talking to this week. We've been kind of texting back and forth, and they're giving me information so I can, what I say, I know what I'm saying when I say it. So, anywho, back to the topic. Bishop Dwight Reed has married recently an 18-year-old young woman by the name of Jordan Goodlet, or it was Goodlet before she was married. Here's the thing. Lord, give me strength. This young woman, no, wasn't arranged, was not purchased, was not, family wasn't given a pig. This young woman was a former student in his school, because the church has a school, was a former student. She was a client of his whom he counseled. And for those of you who don't know, I have a doctorate degree in psychology and Christian counseling. This is what I do. It is illegal to marry your clients. Anyways, who was a former client of his, who was a client, is unethical. Okay. Former student, counseling client, and she was 18. She got married to him just months after turning 18. Anybody, now I don't know. Now here's a couple of things. If I'm just going to try to unpack this right here with you. We're going to unpack this together, because I'm just going to talk through it. And if y'all want me, y'all just ready to unpack, just type in unpack. Unpack, just go on and unpack. Unpack it. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't know of any 18-year-old young woman who would be remotely attracted to marry This is in my psychological experience, in my therapeutic experience, and my counseling experience. I don't know of any 18-year-old young woman who would be sexually, emotionally, or mentally, physically attracted to a 63, almost 64-year-old man unless she had fatherhood issues, she was rejected, abandoned, or abused by her father. And so now she sees that in him. And I want to be clear. There is something that is true. Us psychos, we call ourselves psychos or psychologists. We call it the hero syndrome. We call it the hero syndrome. It is a very real thing where when you have a client who you counsel on a regular basis, there are some clients who will fall in love with their counselor because they begin to see their counselor as their hero, their savior, they're the person who really, really cares about them, loves them, and all of that. It's not every time, but it is a very real thing to where the client falls in love with their counselor because it's like, oh my God, he just loves me and he affirms me all the time and we laugh and we joke and he just helps me out so much and I want to be all of that. Okay. It's a very real thing. So she may have developed hero syndrome in those counseling sessions, but it is incumbent and it is solely on the male, on Bishop, who should have seen that and then referred her to another person to counsel her. Okay, now that's the best case scenario. That's the best case scenario I got for you. Best case scenario I got for you. One, you recognize that she had daddy issues or she had fatherhood issues. So she was attracted to him because she saw him as a father. He counsels her. She develops the hero syndrome. He likes young whippersnappers. And that's what happened. That is the best case I got for you. Oh, but thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank you for common sense. Huh? I want to thank God for the common sense. Anybody would be able to look at this and say, there is absolutely positively no way that they would have gotten married right after she turns 18, legal marrying age, in most of the states in the US. Some states you actually get married at 16. But legal marrying age, 18 years old. Here's the thing. Everybody with common sense will be able to say, you did not start messing with this young woman when she turned 18. No way. There's no way that she turns 18. She would have had to have just turned 18. You approached her on the day or the day after. And then y'all became so close that months after you marry her. No, ma'am, no, sir. Common sense. Oh, Alabama is 14 years of age. There you have it. Common sense will tell you that we're talking about a 63-year-old bishop that just married an 18-year-old young woman, and she ain't even been 18 for half of a year. All right, anyways. So common sense will tell you something was going on beforehand No, she's not pregnant to everybody's. Yeah, common sense ain't so common. You were messing with this girl beforehand. You were messing with a minor. Now, here's the thing. Let me preface this. Apostle Chris has 0 thrones to throw. I have 0 judgments to give. I ain't even going down that road. Y'all know I am an imperfect and flawed man, and I will never, ever, ever get on here and act like I am. Y'all know me. Y'all have heard me say it multiple times. Don't y'all dare put me up on no pedestal. I don't want to be there. And if you put me up on the pedestal, I'm gonna come off of it and I'm gonna hit you upside the head with the pedestal you just tried to put me on. So anyway, I'm joking. So the thing is, here's the thing. You as a man of God were messing with a minor. Okay. Okay. You're messing with a minor. Okay. You're messing with a minor. She's at an impressionable age, so you know what you're doing. Oh, and by the way, this is now his 4th wife. That is hilarious. This is now his 4th wife. He has been married and divorced 3 times over. And this is now his 4th wife. So the man knows what he's doing. Okay. And they thought this would be okay when she turned 18. Major issue. I'm talking real slow on purpose. Because all I can do is think about my girls. If one of them walk into my house, freshly turning 18, and say, this is my new husband, or I'm engaged to a 60-plus-year-old man, nah, forget a Will Smith. I am going to the electric chair. I'm not pass and go. I'm not collecting $200. I'm going to the electric chair. Or I'm going on the table where they do the lethal injections. I'm going all the way. I'm going to fast forward him to Jesus. He already more than halfway there. I'm just going to fast forward him the rest of the way. Right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but let me have this moment. Let me be real with you. I will kill over the girls. That I'm you go on. Go on now. Go on now. It's just not happening. Listen, I got you. I can't. Oh no, sir. Bounce pass, nephew. Put me in. Oh Lordy. It just wouldn't be pretty. It would not be a pretty scenario. Here's the issues that I have with this. Here's the issues that I have with this. Number one, you, a man of God, an older man of God, you've been married 3 times before. You know what you're doing. And you want to get this 18-year-old. She wasn't 18 when you got her. I don't care what you say. She was a student in your school and a former client of yours. Okay, it's number one. You were messing around with her either sexually or there was other things happening because you in common sense will tell you that's just not happening. Okay. I can only allege that he would have done some type of manipulation, mind control, power control, all of that stuff. Yeah, y'all know my Ankia will, she'll handle them. My Ankia is the thug. She don't care. He does. He got grandkids her age. How you do that? Okay. So there's manipulation, there's mind control, and all of that. And then this is where I really get upset. But love is, I know you joking. I know you joking, Lorraine. What I'm saying is, this is a problem. This is a problem. You were messing with or manipulating a minor to ultimately get her to marry you because you wanted her. It's a problem. But you're a bishop in the Lord's church. I'm not just talking about a minister. I'm not just talking about a deacon. I'm not just talking about another pastor. I'm talking about a bishop in the Lord's church. It's a whole problem. Once again, I don't have stones to throw, but this right here, I don't know who his bishop is, but we need to deal with some stuff here. Because you done been married 3 times before. And then the 4th one is a charm, I guess. Why are we not talking about the fact that you can't keep a wife? And once again, no judgment. Y'all know, no judgment as it pertains to divorce. Y'all know me. No judgment at all. But if you on down your 4th one and you a bishop, you got to be able to rule your house well. And you ain't been able to rule 3 of them well at all. And then you're going to bring an 18-year-old into this thing. There's some major, stop that. There's some major issues going on here. You were sleeping with your sheep because she was your church member. She attended your church. You've slept with one of your sheep. Let that sink in. Once again, I'm not throwing any stones. I'm just talking the truth. You slept with one of your sheep. God still loves you. God still cares. God's still going to use you. All of that. I'm not saying any of that. But we need to deal with that. We've got pastors sleeping with their parishioners. I'll give him that. At least he married her. But I'm reminded of a story in the Bible It's not quite exactly what happened here, but I'm reminded of David with Bathsheba. Bathsheba did not belong to him, but he wanted her. So he sabotaged, did all kind of manipulations to get Bathsheba, sent her husband to the hot part of the battle on the front line so that he could die. Even brought the man home, got him drunk, sent him home so that he could sleep with his wife, knowing that she was pregnant. Tried to do all kind of stuff. Didn't work. You won't be able to convince me that this was God. You're not going to be able to convince me of that. Because she was a minor. She was one of your sheep. She was one of the people that attended your church, and you knew it. You knew all of her weak points. You knew what the buttons to press and everything. If Dr. Chris was raunchy and nasty and all of that stuff, any psychologist or any counselor, especially pastors, they know what buttons to push. They know how to get to you. They know what to do to get to you because they know everything. But it's an issue that we've got going on here. Let me flip it. There's so many pastors and bishops and apostles and prophets and teachers and evangelists and ministers and suffragan bishops and missionaries and overseers and all the other titles that we done came up with in the church that do the same thing, that marry people in their infancy, that rob them of their life, that tie them down before they even can discover what it is that they actually want to become or even know what they want to become. They throw and they take of their own idea of you, slap it on you and tie you down and make you marry into something that you did not even want, or you don't even know what you want. You haven't even come into the full identity of who you are, what you want, where you're going and everything, but because you are entranced with maybe fame, maybe fortune, maybe the idea or whatever. You're entranced by that. And so you are brought into marrying it. And there are so many people who do that. And that is a problem. It's a whole issue. Absolutely. It's an emotional pull. It's a whole thing. And it's got to be dealt with. And there's so many leaders who do that. Make you get married in the infancy of a thing. And I don't mean saying, put a ring on it. What I'm talking about, slapping a title on you and they know you're not ready. Bringing you into places that they know you're not ready. Oh, the parents didn't even attend the wedding. They protested the wedding. She got married without them. At least that's what the report said. That her mother protested it. This is the whole problem. We have men and women of God manipulating and taking advantage of the people in their infancy because they don't know, or at the alpha of their real journey, because they don't know what they are coming into. That is a whole problem. And that's where I really, really have issue with some leaders. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect leader. I'm learning day by day. I'm still going and all of this stuff. So like I said, I don't have any stones to throw. But one thing you'll never be able to say about Dr. Chris is that he's manipulating and misusing the people that he leads. Just don't. And if I misstep ever or make a mistake ever, I'm quick to go in front of those people and say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I am so sorry, y'all. My bad. I just did it on a live a couple weeks ago. Okay, this is an issue. It's a problem. It's disgusting, in my opinion. It is absolutely disgusting, and somebody needs to go and deal with him. Maybe his bishop, maybe his bishop, maybe his leader, maybe, I don't know. But somebody needs to deal with that. Africa, that happens all the time. It happens all the time in Africa. But it's a whole issue. It is a whole problem. Let me find out. That is 50 plus, 40 plus year old man, 30 plus year old man, barely 20 plus year old man is coming after one of my daughters. You know, I'm not necessarily a proponent of adults dating minors. I can see if you 18 and they 17 and they about to become 18, you know, that little gap there. I can get that. I understand it. I can get that. But this ain't that. This is decades younger. Okay, it's a whole problem. And yeah. Anyways, I feel something rising up on me, so I'm gonna pull up out of there. Does anybody want to talk about that? Anybody? I believe that it is disgusting. I believe that it is wrong. I believe that it is an indictment to the office of a bishop. I believe that it is an issue. We just had the whole Catholic Church get ransacked with bishops messing with minors. But it's only in the Black church. We'll let our bishops and our pastors sleep with the people, and we'll still be at the church just clapping and doing all that stuff, and we won't say anything. It's just crazy. They met because she was a client. She was a student, which means you had your eye on her when she was a minor. Jesus Christ. Oh, it just bothers me. All right. Okay, next one. Let's deal with the next one. Look, y'all like, I can't. I just can't. I can't. Right. It's an issue. It's a problem. We are in a moment where I'm moving to the next point. We're in a time where history has already been made, where an African American woman has been nominated to the Supreme Court. And kids are just nasty. And this is why we watch the living room. No one's getting near my 15-year-old. Jesus, my God. All right, so history is being made. An African American woman has been nominated to the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, and her name is Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson. I just like saying her name, Ketanji Brown Jackson, the Honorable Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Now, here's the thing. How many of you have watched the hearings, the confirmation hearings? If you have watched the confirmation hearings, I want you to say, I've watched. I want you to just put in, I've watched or watched. I want to know the people that I'm, who's going to kind of know what I'm talking about or be able to talk about what it is. Just hold your horses because I'm about to make a whole lot of people mad. I'm about to make a whole lot of folk mad. And thank y'all for hanging out with me. This is probably the longest live I have done in a while. So you watched some because I got mad. Watch some of it. You've watched Shiloh. Okay, I see you. Watched. Okay, watched a little. All right, I see you. Okay. Here's the thing. This woman here is super credentialed. Okay. Super credentialed. I mean, massively credentialed. She has served on every level, essentially, of court that you can serve. She clerked for every level of court. She even clerked for a Supreme a Supreme Court justice. Here's the thing. I have watched from the mountains. That's Black Panther. Anyways, I have watched this woman sit there. If you were to put her up against those that are in the Supreme Court, most of them can't even hold a candlestick to her. There's even a Supreme Court justice on there that has never even tried a case. And this woman, this beautiful, gorgeous, ebony, African-American queen, has sat there and listened to, I'm about to make people mad, white men and women sit there, and because they can't find a scandal, because they can't find I'm out here now. I'm out here now. The intercessors, y'all better start praying because I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm out here. Here it is. Hold on. Lord, help me. This woman has sat here and listened to white men. They can't find a scandal. They can't find an expose. They can't find where she's linked to crazy money. They can't find where any of this. She literally checks all the boxes and any other box they could come up with. You say, well, maybe she ain't did that. She did that too. Well, she ain't did this. Yes, she did. She's been there. She's done this. She literally has every qualification. And she has sat there listening to white men, Ted Cruz, especially, sit here and yell at her, yell over her when she's trying to answer the question that is being asked her. She literally is being interrupted over and over again, so much so that the chairman had to interrupt and say, let her answer your question. I'm going to let her answer the question. And when she starts to answer, he talks over her again. And she sat there with grace and class, listening to people. They can't find anything else. So what do? They want to pull up how she made a ruling on pedophiles. And I said, okay. Right. And she's the first judge to check off all of the boxes that they have. This whole litmus test that they got. She's the first one to be able to check off all the boxes. So They pull up how she does this ruling. Look at how white America will do you. Pull up, since you are excellent in everything else, let's talk about how you do. I got a problem. I don't have a problem. I can't deny what you've done. I can't deny your accomplishments. I can't deny anything. So let's disparage how you got there. Let's disparage what you did to do what you got, what did. I don't believe that you should get this place because how you got your accomplishments, how you actually, this is what they're actually saying. Men and women don't want another black woman to rise, and at the end of the day, they're hollering because they're threatened. Yeah, absolutely. This is what they're actually saying to the Honorable Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. This is what they're saying. We can't deny your. I don't got hot. We can't deny your accomplishments. I'm about to make people mad. We can't deny we can't deny that you have done it. You have done it. You have all of the accomplishments. You check all the box. But what I got a problem with is how you think. I got a problem with how you reason. You don't think like us. I think you should have done this. And because you didn't do what I think you should have done, you shouldn't be on the Supreme Court. But here's the thing. Watch yourself. Here's the thing. Her rulings have been consistent with every other judge in the country. And they don't want to deal with the fact that her rulings are based on the guidelines that Congress has put in place. They're sitting there going, oh my God. I'm hollering. My bad. They're sitting here upset that she's ruling based upon their laws, based upon what they put in place. And it is literally in alignment with every other black, white, Asian, Mexican, Caucasian, alien judge that is operating or judging in these United States. There is nothing that she has done that is out of alignment with the rest of the judges. And then they want to pull up the fact that she said, listen, our justice system is flawed. There needs to be reformation. The way that we do certain things are antiquated. They need to be reformed. And then they want to put it up there. Do you really believe that? All of America believes that the justice system needs reformation. Baby girl, you are petty. Her husband ain't act like Will. Nah, he would have went to jail for that. That's a federal crime. To walk up and slap a senator. But they are sitting there. They are sitting there. This Harvard-educated black woman who walked the yard of Harvard University, not knowing if it was even for her, not believing she could actually do it, but thank God for a woman who crossed paths with her and told her to persevere and didn't even know her. So she persevered and kept going and has made a difference in so many people's lives. And let's not forget, all of the federal seats that she has sat in for the bulk of her career over the last 10 plus years has all been unilaterally, have all been bilaterally, voted on. They all voted on her to occupy these, from the being an appellate court judge to being a federal court, circuit court, all of these things. All of them have already voted her. She has had both Republicans and Democrats and everybody else vote her in to these seats. But let her come to the highest seat. Oh no, we can't have that. Putting a black woman in the Supreme Court? No, we can't do that. Because, well, why not? Well, I don't like the way she rules. Well, she rules like everybody else. She follows the guidelines like everybody else. And then you want to nitpick at certain cases, at one case, to judge the thousands of cases that she's presided over. You're going to pick one case and say, well, why did you do it like this? And she was saying it was a special case. It was an absolute special case. But it's a problem because this black woman is sitting before this majority white panel and then talk over her and do little snide comments at her as if she's some horrible person or disparaging her. And they're going to come at the Democrats and say, oh, well, y'all didn't do this with our nominees. That's because your nominees, some of them, one of them hadn't even tried cases ever. Another one had all kind of people rising up saying he touched me, he molested me, he did all of this stuff against me. You can't do anything. You can't pull up nothing on this woman because she's done everything. And what's getting under their skin is that they don't have a scandal, they don't have an expose, they don't have crazy money. She ain't tied into all of that. She's done everything by the book, and that is why she has done everything. And then when they pull up, well, didn't you write this? Didn't you write that? Yeah, I wrote it, but I wrote it for this particular person. I was a clerk for this particular person. It's a problem. And I don't care what anybody else says, and it's the truth about what Senator Cory Booker said. As Black people, we have got to do twice as much to be twice as good as everybody else to only get half of the credit. It's the truth. And we've got a systematic flaw here. There's an issue up and through here, especially that manifested in Senator Ted Cruz and Senator Lindsey Graham, throwing fits like little girls and little schoolgirls. I said it and I meant it, and did all of this stuff at her that had not. One of them brought up stuff that had nothing to even do with her. Another one, well, you voted like what you ruled like this and you ruled like that and you ruled like this and you ruled like that and you were so soft on pedophilia. Those are your guidelines, not mine. I didn't put this stuff into law. Y'all put this stuff into law. It's a whole issue. And then she's trying to talk, and you feel like you got the right to overtalk her and talk down to her and say, you're going to answer my question. Wait a minute. Who are you talking to? But like a true queen, this woman has sat there and did another one of the Black Mama, and like she did one of them. You know how the eyebrow go? You know the eyebrow raises? and they just look at you like you got Elmo time. You got Elmo time to say something crazy to me, and I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Yeah, he pulled out a children's book and started reading it like it was pre-K. And then another one gonna say, well, you're very articulate. What am I supposed to be, dumb and stupid? It surprises you that I can talk? You know, all of this stuff is issues, it's problems. But I have a message for you, especially white America. The day is coming where the minorities are rising. Minorities are rising. They are occupying offices. And I'm going to tell you this. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So I would suggest that you start treating your more melanated constituents with respect, with dignity, and with class. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Because it's a whole issue now in these United States of America. Okay. Which leads me to my last part. I recently had an honor and a privilege to speak to some, and this is, I'm really about to make y'all upset. I'm really about to make some people mad, and it's okay. I recently had the privilege and the honor of speaking to a bunch of pastors and leaders. The room was white. It was little pepper. There's little specks of pepper in there. And I was talking about the civil rights and the right of some people. Here's some things that came up in the conversation, and I'm only saying this to provoke some of my less melanated brothers and sisters to possibly change how you are doing what you're doing. I know that this will be very unpopular, and I know that I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail. I'm probably going to lose followers over this and everything like that. I love all of you equally. I love everybody equally. Yeah. Here we go. As I was speaking to these pastors, I was talking to them about the rights and the civil rights of their Black congregants. And I made a statement which made them very, very, very upset. I began to see their faces that were beige or even white turn as red as the Webster's Dictionary on my bookshelf. I made a statement. I said that if you recognize that there is an oppressed people and you do not become a voice for those that are oppressed, you are derelict of your duty as a pastor and as a leader. You are not a prophet, and you should relinquish your pulpit to somebody who will be, is what I said. And I meant it, and I wasn't taking it back. There was such a rise out of them because they were offended by what I said. They were offended by what I said. How dare you say this to me? When we had our Q&A, I gave them an opportunity to ask any questions that they had. One of them asked me, what gave me the right? What gave me the right to say that? How dare I come into this is what he said to me. How dare I come into their event and say that to them? Could I not see that it was offensive? I said, I do know that it was offensive. And I said, the fact that you would even ask me what gave me the right to ask you speaks to your mentality and speaks to your paradigm. Hey, Shamarian, you feel like I don't have a right to challenge you. Though I have a double doctorate degree, I'm an apostle and a prophet. I lead a global network of people, have planted multiple churches around the world, oversee countless others and ministries, and still planting. To today, a multi-entrepreneur, and have built what I have built by the grace of God, and you still feel like I am underqualified for challenging you on what it is that you are doing. I told them and I suggested, I said, perhaps it's not what I said, but it is who said it to you. You're not offended by what was said. You're offended by who said it. You're offended that a Black boy would dare stand up and challenge you on what it is that you are doing in your church. And I said, well, since you have the mic, let's have the conversation. I said, sir, because I also talked about, I said, if you see a need in a community, because this is what he said to me. We go into the inner cities and we feed them once a month, and we go and we give away book bags, and we do all of these things and all of this stuff. So they come from there. They come from their suburban area and they go into the inner city and they serve the inner city once a month. And I said to them, sir, how many of them actually go to your church? He said, well, we don't have a lot of Black people that go to our church because they don't live where our church is. I said, so you come in once a month and do something and you feel good about yourself. I said, thank you for what you do once a month. I said, but these people live with that 29 or 30 days beyond the one day that you're there. It is the single mothers with multiple children that is on food stamps that barely cover her and the children, that she is learning how to stretch. It is the single mother who has children that are on Medicaid, but because she has a job, she doesn't qualify. So she can't be on Medicaid, and her job doesn't pay her enough to pay for insurance premiums. So she goes with her health declining, or she has to deal with all of these things. But yet you have doctors sitting on your front row giving you $10,000 and $15,000 a month, and they can't at the same time go and do free checkups on this same weekend. I get it. I said, now you know where they live, and I said, who then is on? I said, do you have jobs available? And I said, do you provide jobs for them? Well, we don't have jobs to provide at our church. I said, you don't have jobs to provide at your church? I said, okay, well, let's talk about it. How many staff people do you have? I said, how many people how many people do you have on your pastoral staff, on your executive staff or whatever? I have 16 people on the staff. Okay, great. Here we go. How many of them are Black? Well, I don't have any Black people on my team. Why don't you have Black people working for you on your executive staff? or on your leadership team. Well, they can't get to our church. There's no transportation from the church from where they live. So you are assuming that all of these Black people that attend your church, though few, that the few Black people that attend your church can't get to your church. Do the Black people even know that those positions were ever opened? No. Well, we do word of mouth. We do word of mouth with the jobs. And I said, okay, so here's the thing. You've got a whole 16 group of 16 white people that are doing this. Do you think that they are going to go to the Black people and say, hey, please apply for this job here at the church? Or do you think that Sally is going to turn to Becky and say, Becky, if you want to work at the church, if you want to serve Jesus, well, come on and apply for this job? Which one do you think that they're going to do, since it's word of mouth and y'all don't put it in the bulletin and y'all don't even blast it out to everybody to allow everybody to apply for said jobs? And so he said, well, everyone speaks to everyone. I said, fine, I'll give you that. Okay, whatever. Let's circle back around. You're assuming that they can't get to where you are. Have they said this to you? No. Do you know where they live? Not everyone. So you're assuming that all of the Black people that go to your church are in the ghetto. That's what you just told me. Now let's keep going. I said, let's keep going down this road. Now, we have already established that you don't have Black people working there. You already established that the white people are only talking to white people to give them, because you just told me, he also told me that no Black people ever applied for it. So that was that. And then I asked him this question. I said, now, nobody's on your executive leadership team. Nobody's on your executive leadership team and all of that stuff. Okay, fine. I said, now, how many Black people are on your praise team? Well, the majority of the people on our praise team are Black. Great. How many people play in your band? The majority of my band is Black. Who is doing the greeting and all of that stuff? Well, the Black people do that. Who opens up in prayer and sets the fire up in your church and really gets it going? Well, we've got a couple people who do it, and a lot of them are Black and everything like that. I said, okay, great. I said, when it comes to serving food and everything, who actually does that? He said, well, most of our African-American people do that. And he said, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're trying to say that we don't include the Black people into what we do. And they're all over our church. They're on our praise teams. They're in our choirs. They're in our bands. They're in our everything like that. And I said, sir, you do not have a church. I interrupted him. I said, sir, you do not have a church. You have a plantation. It's Truth on a Tuesday. I said, you won't let them serve, but you will let them, you won't let them lead, but you will let them labor. Is what I said to the man, to this pastor. I said, you have a plantation. You do not have a church. You have a plantation. Because while you are leading and while your people, this is what I said to him. Y'all can get me later, Kingdom Life. That's fine. Y'all can rebuke me later if y'all want to. I don't care. But I said, while you have all of your white people, I know I'm making you upset. I said, while you have all of your white people going, riding around on their horses, ruling over these Black people that you have actually doing the labor, because they're not doing any labor. No. They're just riding around on their horses while your Black people is attracting everybody to the church. If all of your Black people left your praise and worship would be dry, and it would be if you didn't have the creativity of these African American people that is infused with jazz and R&B and all of these things, and have the skill to not just read sheet music, but have the ability to tap into the spirit realm and through the ancestral creativity come through and redo songs to make them relevant and make them really attractive for the people, to create a whole worship experienced if it were not for your intercessors who are black by your confession, if it weren't for your black people who were opening your services with fire and interceding for people at your altar, tapping into the ancestral spirituality of those that we have come from, the lineage that we have come from, to where they did not have anything. All they knew to do was talk about Jesus and everything like that. And it is a whole entire lie to think that we didn't just find Jesus until we came to America. No, there were all over Africa before we ever got here Christians. Paul was an Egyptian. Paul was an African man. He wasn't Egyptian. He was an African man. The Apostle Paul and Peter were both African men that knew Jesus, that preached the gospel. They were here. When Peter talked to the Ethiopian, where is Ethiopia at? In Africa. He was talking to the Ethiopian eunuch, and he preached it, which means that Peter was in Africa. So you need to understand that we were already Christians before we ever got to America. And if it weren't for us getting up there and tapping into the ancient oil of what God has given us and pulling that down to literally cause you to get your little goosebumps and ride on the spiritual wave that we have created, you, sir, would be singing Ave Maria in robes and everything like that. And your church would have 30 people in it, not the 2,000 plus people that you have in your church. You have a plantation. And you take their money every single week. And with that money, you rule over them. No, wasn't no African angels that came over there. And not only that, and he said, who do you think you are? This is what he said. Who do you think you are? I said, now we're back to the little black boy telling you the truth. I know you may be well intended, but I'm telling you what you actually have. Your problem is not with what you are saying. I said, because if the man behind you were to say that to you and say, hey, brother, we need to sit down and we need to deal with this. We need to get multicultural and we need to put them in leadership and everything. You say, yeah, you're right. But the fact that it came from me is a problem. And this is where the subject comes from. Pray. And so I said, this is where that topic comes from. I said, because the problem is you can't receive it from me because your Jesus got to stay white. This is exactly why you can't handle a black Jesus. Because if you make Jesus black, if you make Jesus the color of me, then that makes me a valuable, viable voice. And that will instantaneously make you have to listen because of the genealogy from whence I come. Jesus looks more like me in the physical form than he does you. And guess what? Even in the metaphysical form, the Apostle John saw Jesus in a vision. Hair like wool, feet like brass, eyes like fire. Y'all will sing the song all the time, but you won't assist the people that look the most like him. You won't help deliver the people that look the most like him. You can say how beautiful he is, but think the people that look the most like him is ugly. You say how wonderful and beautiful and glorious and all of that stuff he is, but you're seeing the wrong image. And if I were surface enough to make this about race and color, I would be the one with the microphone in your church. So we're coming on a day, and I'm telling y'all now that at this point, Jesus, got natural curls. Genesis, I can't. At this point, I have to take on the mantle to liberate a people that are oppressed. And though you may not be able to get into the same boardrooms, you may not be able to get into the same boardrooms, you may not be able to get into the same offices, you may not be able to get to the same tables as I do. I'm telling you now that I promised to the Lord that I will be a voice for my people. And I'm not about to sit here and just let people just do whatever. It's a whole issue, and it is a whole problem. Now, I'm not saying get up and just leave your church and make us more segregated. No. But at the same time, I'm challenging the leaders to, it's not good enough just to have your congregation be diverse or multicultural. Your leadership needs to look the same way. Well, how will I know when I've made it? Listen, even in our government. Now we cheer and we clap, and it's all a good thing for us to get up there and be like, hey, we got, she's the first Black woman to do this, the first African American to do that, the first Black male to do this, the first Black. I won't be satisfied until we don't feel the necessity to celebrate a Black person doing something because it's the norm. Now, we celebrate, right? We celebrate. We should applaud, clap, cheer, keep it going, push it. I'm with it. But we'll know we have made it when it is no longer an anomaly. Where it's normal for a Black person to occupy a senatorial office, normal for a Black person to become a governor, normal for Black women in general to occupy certain offices and do certain things. When we get to the place to where we are not just celebrating anomalies, we know that we made it. We know that we are where we need to be because we are on an equal playing field. But as long as we're going, oh yeah, I support because they're the first Black person to do this and we need to push them, we ain't made it yet. So in our churches, in our places of worship, I'm telling you now, I will be that guy. My white brothers and sisters, I love you. Y'all know I do. For real, for real. But if I see you running a plantation, I will call you on it. I'm not going to do it in public. I ain't going to will you and just pop you in the pulpit right there. I might do it verbally without saying your name. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and allow our people to continually be oppressed. I'm not going to allow myself to be oppressed and be on the plantation or whatever. Well, I pastor my own church, so and it's global, worldwide, and everything like that. So, anywho, that's my truth on the Tuesday. I'm done. I done talked here for a while. I hope y'all enjoyed Truth on a Tuesday. And hopefully there was something that was said that will make you think, that will give you something to talk about, something to think about at your dinner table with your friends, concepts, principles, or whatever. Okay. All right, cool beans. I'm gonna do this. If you want to sew, you can. DRCM Global on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Gmail. Listen, I want all of you to go to drchristophermontgomery.com. I am doing a class starting on Thursday. Starting on Thursday, I am doing a class called Supernatural Bootcamp and the Prophets Upgrade. I want you to be a part of that. We're going to be talking about a myriad of different topics. I will repost it in the comments here. I'm going to blast it out to all of my partners. I want you to be a part of it. Payment plans are available. It is $150. It's 3 days. It's Thursday night, Friday night, and then almost all day Saturday. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I don't want you to miss it. Okay? You want to take this course. Trust me. You want to take this course. The first 10 people are actually going to get free books, free copies of my new book called, and I don't even know if 10 people if it's already taken. I haven't been paying attention or looking. But I want you to be a part of it. You're going to get a free copy of my book, my new book that I am releasing. Excuse me. My new book that I am releasing called 30 Days to Supernatural Living. And so it's going to be amazing. I want you to be a part of this class. Go to drchristophermontgomery.com. And if you want to sew, you absolutely can. You don't have to. I'm not one of those preachers that gonna make it all super spiritual. I've gotten countless testimonies on the Supernatural 7, where many of you gave $7 or multiples of 7 or whatever over the last 7 days. And I have gotten so many testimonies. I'm talking about free cars, people paying for them to get a car, people paying for the car, raises and bonuses and promotions and stamina and energy and meeting new people. It was like, it's just crazy. So Triple T was great. Wonderful. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. All right, cool. So if you were blessed by this, you can sew Cash App, DRCM Global, Venmo, at DRCM Global, PayPal, DRCM Global at gmail.com. Or if you want to do Venmo, you absolutely, not Venmo, but Zelle, it is DRCM Global at gmail.com. Okay, that is my Zelle. All right, so I love y'all. God bless y'all. If you're in the class, I will see you on Thursday. Definitely make sure that you take a peek. Go to drchristophermontgomery.com/events. Make sure that you do that, and we will be sure to get you ready where you can register right there. And like I said, payment plans are available. Also, don't forget Trailblazers 2022. July 27th through the 30th. I want all of y'all there. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Do not miss it. And we got something for the kids too. So make sure that you are a part of that. The kids will be having their own version of Trailblazers as well. So go to kingdomlifetrailblazers.com. Make sure you get the Ignite package as well to get yourself started. We're going to be doing some more advertising, and you're going to be able to talk to some of the speakers and all of that stuff over the next coming weeks. It's going to be amazing. All right. So I love y'all. God bless y'all. I hope that y'all have the most amazing evening. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for these 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.